Okay, so today we're going to talk about the J stroke and the letter G, as well as the Q the letter Q in which the J stroke is used in reversed orientation. So, to first we'll describe the structure of the J stroke a little bit. I'll try and draw it at a larger scale. So this being the waistline, the baseline, the first descender and second descender line. So in the all along the x height, the J stroke is a uniform width stroke. As soon as we go beyond the baseline, lower than the baseline, we start a taper going from, so creating a wedge shape which is moving from the left to the right. So the right side of the stroke is a straight line in line with the slant guides, and the left side of the shaded stroke joins it, which creates the beginnings of the counter shape. The rest of the stroke below this point is a hairline. We come about halfway or a little bit beyond halfway in the second descender space, and create an almond shaped counter joining the main stroke a little bit below the baseline, which allows us to exit at the baseline. Now here I joined probably a little bit too far below the baseline. It should be closer, probably around this area. The point to note is the shape of this counter, which is a nice teardrop almond shape. The widest point is not at the lowest point, but a little bit above it. This gives it a nice flowing pleasant shape and gives us an overall balanced appearance for the stroke. The reverse of this stroke used in the Q begins the same way as a uniform width stroke during the X height. In the first ascender space, the taper starts from the right side this time, which means the left side remains aligned with the slant guide, giving us counter space to the right. And then we complete the counter space in the same manner as we did for the J, except we go all the way back to the baseline to join back to the main stroke, because the exit stroke is going to start from there. Now, in it by itself, this stroke doesn't make any sense. It's always used as the second stroke of the Q. Once again, the widest point should be around here. And of course the J stroke is, if we just add an O stroke in front of it, we'll get the letter G. So I'll try and do a few examples of the J stroke. So first, the J by itself. Now I'm just going to write at regular size. So entry hairline, uniform width, taper to the right in the first descender space, loop, join a little bit below the baseline, and exit. And I have a J with an overall appearance of being in line with the slant. Once more, the entry hairline, uniform width, taper to the right, start the loop in the second descender space, come up, join a little bit below baseline, and exit. Come back, square the top. The dot is placed in the first ascender space in the middle, same width as the J stroke, which essentially is like the first part is like an I. Now, to use the J stroke in the letter G, we will begin with an O stroke. Now, the thing to note is that this part of the O is the same as the entry hairline, which gives us the letter G. Again, the taper I messed up a little bit, which gives the tail a bit of movement to the left, which we don't want. So let me give it another go. taper to the right, exit, and we have a nicely balanced G. Now a couple of cues which will begin with the O. Now this time we taper to the left, giving us the counter space. We come back at the baseline, square the top of the stroke. Now here I actually tapered too early. It should come down to this point. So let's give it another try. Okay, so this is a little bit better. So now if you look at the overall look of the letter, the G and the Q, so this is a good G and this is an acceptable Q. They are overall balance. So at this moment I can't think of a word that uses both the G and the Q. But if they're used in letters next to each other on a line, they should give the impression of being of the same slant. So the slant of the T and the Q should match. It should not be very different. And if we have a G in the same line, it should maintain the same overall balance. Here again I'm moving to the left a little bit, so messed up over here. Again, these are some of the things you need to keep in mind. Actually, I think it might not be a bad thing that I've made a few mistakes, because it kind of shows what to look out for. So maybe that is helpful in a roundabout way. So please feel free to let me know if you have any questions. I hope this has been helpful. And once again, my lessons are available on the Fountain Pen Network, as well as the Flourish Forum and wetcanvas.com. I'll include the links in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching.